Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm still in this Daniel Smith 24 set, and I'm going to go over another hidden gem in this video. But before we start that, let me just say it's Quinacridone Burnt Orange. But before we start that, I got a comment from a viewer who was saying, oh, I just hated for you to clean off all that beautiful paint that you mixed. And that is true. So I have a plan for that today. And I'm just going to take these colors, and I'm just going to start a sketchbook page. And I'm just going to make some shapes and get rid of these colors. But when I mix, I want you to see the cleanest possible color that you can get from these mixes. So, you know, that's one reason I'm cleaning off my palette. So instead of doing that, I'm going to speed up the video where kind of cool. So, all right, well, I'm going to let that dry a minute. And in the meantime, I've used quite a bit of that nice paint. And we're going to now clean the palette off so we can have some clean mixes of Quinacridone Burnt Orange. Quinacridone Burnt Orange is PO48. And, you know, that's been discontinued. And we've all heard about PO48. I do have another video I'll link at the end cards and in the description below. If I can remember to put that in the description below. But I'll definitely put it at the end cards. It's in that beautiful Quinacridone gold color. And it has been discontinued. But when it was discontinued a few years ago, Daniel Smith put out a notification that it had bought up enough PO48 to last for 20 years. So that is like 20 minus 6, so that means they have 14 years left in it. So, you know, I bought some Daniel Smith, some extra Daniel Smith tubes, and I bought some Daniel Smith sticks because you can always cut those sticks up and put it in your watercolor pans. I'm buying the tubes, so if, you know, when I run out of, say, this Pearline Green got kind of low, so I'm going to refill that. So, you know, let's just do that now. So when you buy that, you'll see which colors you use the most. And I'm going to just take a little toothpick here and make sure there's no air bubbles in it. And that way, next time I go back into it, it'll be a full half pan. Very good. I'm just going to leave this over here because I'm going to use it. I'm going to stack it in over there. I'm going to use it to mix. You know, why waste paint? So here I'm going to start with Quinacridone Burnt Orange. It is very much similar in color hue to Burnt Sienna, but there are a big difference. Let me start with Burnt Sienna first because everybody knows Burnt Sienna. I'm only going to do a deep dive into some of these colors that are extraordinary. So burnt sienna says that it is excellent light fast. I don't know what the opaqueness is, or semi-transparent. I would say it's semi-transparent because I can see it covering up the black line a little bit. But it is a staple in almost every palette I've ever seen. And I use it a lot. It mixes really well with French ultramarine. Makes a beautiful gray because it's orange leaning. But there is burnt sienna, and it is PBR 7. Okay, so now let's look at quinacridone burnt orange and compare it. I like burnt sienna. It's pretty. These are little cotty sheets that I got, and they're handmade cotton rag. I got them from Jackson's. I don't know if you can get them from Amazon. You might be able to. If you can, I'll link them in, the product information if I can. Okay, let's go to quinacridone burnt orange. Oh, how beautiful. There it is. So see, it's got a similar hue. It's that orange. I think it's PO48. It's a Series 2 paint, so it's going to be a little bit more expensive, and the light fastness is excellent, and it is PO48. Okay, so let's look at the difference. Oh, that's quite bright. It's transparent. So if you want a transparent color that will be a little bit more vibrant than burnt sienna, it's a synthetic color. It's kind of glowy. It's really pretty. Really pretty. Okay, so let's look at that. Let's hold them up. This is definitely more brown, the burnt sienna, and this is definitely more orange. It's more transparent. Quin burnt orange is more transparent. It's just got its own thing, But let's see how it mixes, because I'm interested in that. Some of the colors in this palette already have PO48 in them. Sap green does, undersea green does, and quinacridone gold does, and quinacridone burnt orange does. So let's just go and let's do your typical mix with quinacridone burnt orange and French ultramarine blue. I expect it's going to give us a gray. Oh, it gives us a nice burnt umber color. I want you to see the mix. Okay, here's the burnt umber color. See, that looks nice. Looks very nice. Let's put that Quin burnt orange on its own. See how lovely that is? Oh my gosh, that's so pretty. I love it. Do you use this? how and why do you use it? You don't have to use it. You can get beautiful paintings without it. But that's with a little bit of French ultramarine. Let's add a little bit more. That's kind of a greenish tone. Dark green, very muted. Okay, let's take some Quinacridone burnt orange and mix it with, let's mix it with phthalo blue. Or let's mix it with cerulean. Oh, still we're getting that brown. I'm going to put it right here. You know, you can just mix. It doesn't matter. You know, you got your color theory, which, you know, blue and orange makes brown. But look at this. I put a little bit more of that cerulean in. And you get a totally different green. I think because it's so, that PO48. Let me put a little bit more French ultramarine in this mix. Yeah. Here is a more grayish blue. If I put a little bit more, get a nice navy. So it's not giving me a black like I thought. Okay, so I'm really going to try to get a really good dark with this Quinacridone burnt orange. I might be able to get it with phthalo blue and French ultramarine. Because no matter what, I always have French ultramarine on my palette. Yeah. Here's a good dark. It's like a dark green. Let's put a little bit more orange in there. Maybe I just need to put a little bit more blue in there. Need to be more concentrated with it. So yeah, I can get a good dark. But when I'm going to mix a black, I like to be able to get a black. I don't want it to run too blue. I don't want it to run too orange. So, all right, let's get Quinacridone burnt orange and phthalo blue. See how that mixes. I got a good concentration there. Let's get phthalo. Wonder what it would do with phthalo green. Oh, that's nice. Phthalo blue. Green shade. Gives you a real nice dark. Phthalo's pretty intense. Quinacridone burnt orange is pretty intense too. However, oh look. Gives you even different green. Oh, how nice. I'm going for a dark, but I'm getting greens. Oh, that is so nice. Oh, I'm going to have to do something with this. So I'm going to I'm going to get rid of just this one here with the cerulean and mix it with something else. And I'm not going to mix it with every color, but let's get phthalo or quinacridone burnt orange. Good concentration of it. And let's get with Quin Rose. I did read, I thought, what are some good mixes? So I chat GPT'd it a little bit. And it says that Quin Rose and Quin Burnt Orange can make a beautiful coral. So let's just see. Let's look at that. I'm going to just put that right here. Nice. Is that like Quin Coral? Let's get it at a lighter value. That's really pretty. I do have a stray hair. That's really pretty. That's a really pretty coral. All right, now, just so you can see, and so I can see, I have a tendency to want to see how everything will mix with white. You know, we could go buff titanium. Not a big fan of buff titanium, but you might be. I think buff titanium will take in a color of its own and a deep dive of its own. Also, the geothite, a deep dive of its own, and raw umber. Because those are just colors that I don't use that much. So let's take this white. It's titanium white. And mix it with, oh wow, 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 wow. So pretty. Can you see that being the color of the inside of shells or a flower? Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. I'm gonna hold this up. Quinacridone burnt orange. Here's a little bit more white. Oh, I love this. Okay, this goes into the deep dive I did the other day with coral reef and shell pink. So pretty. So I took quinacridone burnt orange and mixed it with quinacridone red, or rose, and I got this. You can kind of see where my sizing's going bad in this book. I really don't do anything fancy in this book. This is an Arteza, and I don't do anything fancy in this book because it's not dependable. I just swatch and, you know, do tests and play. I don't do anything fancy. Oh, there's some oranges. And I haven't done a sketchbook. There's a sun. So I haven't done a sketchbook tour because these are my working sketchbooks. I consider all my sketchbooks working, but I like to have a nice sketchbook. So I try to save like my etcher sketchbooks and mainly my etcher ones, Honeymoon, any of them that's cotton, 100% cotton, I save for like when I go to workshops and when I go on workshop trips like to Provence and stuff like that. So I save those special ones for those special occasions. Every day I work in these Arteza journals and they're cheap, 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 cheap. I think it's 2 for $26 or something like that. I'll link them below in the products manual. I'll try to link this. I'll put it either on Blick. I find them pretty consistently on Blick. And I've even found them on eBay for some really cool prices. So let's go, and what else can we mix it with? Quinacridone. I love this mix. I love this mix. And I wonder if we could take that green mix that's so beautiful and put a little bit of Quinacridone Gold into it. This is just so versatile. Oh, that brightens it up. Just so pretty. Yep, look at that. Makes it into a really pretty sap green. You get that yellow undertone. Really pretty. Really pretty. Now on cotton paper, it'd be even prettier. So, you know, I think about what I'm going to do, and I'm perfectly content in doing this all the time. So, but, you know, when you want to make a painting, then make a painting in here, do your swatching in here, have fun in here in this sketchbook, and do your mixing. I'm just having a blast doing this, so I hope you are too. And let's see, what else can we get? I like this mix. Let's see if you can mix burnt sienna with Quin Rose and get the same effect. Okay, so here we got burnt sienna. I don't think we can. Quin Rose. That's just so bright and beautiful. This gives you a different type of coral. It flips really easily. It gives you a different type of coral. I don't think it gives it quite as clean. You can do it. You don't need burnt orange, but boy, what a beautiful color. What clean colors over here. So there's Quin Rose mixed with burnt sienna. So you can get very similar colors just with burnt sienna. And then I know with burnt sienna, you can get with French ultramarine, you can get a nice dark, a really pretty gray. I think you need just a little bit more. And this is like Jane's gray. Very nice. I don't know. What do you think? Do you think burnt orange is a necessity to this palette? Or would you just use burnt sienna that's a lot cheaper? I like the glowiness of burnt orange. I like the transparency of burnt orange. And you can get that much more saturated with your color. And still stays transparent. Very pretty. Very pretty. I like Quin burnt orange. I think there's times when I would reach for it, especially if you're going for like, I like to do shells when I go to Florida. And I think that I would use that and mix it with Quin Rose and get these, because this would be really pretty on the back of those, I don't know what they're called. They're like clam shells or, and the conchs. This would be really pretty for those too. But you could do it with burnt sienna and just touch it up with a little bit of, you know, you don't have to have 24. I like these 24 colors though. They really make your palette very versatile. Now also, another tip, you don't have to have this palette. You can buy these tubes in 15 or even 5 milliliter. And 5 milliliter will fill up a half pan, I think. I think it'll fill up a half pan once or twice. I'm not for sure. Let's see if it says on here. I don't think it does. Anyway, and then just buy a cheap palette off of Amazon and put them in there. Or you can get like one of these art toolkits. I'm in the process of getting them. They're new to me, so I see everybody out with them, so I'm getting ready to fill one of them up. Would you like to see that? So let me know, because I'll do it on camera. I just as soon do it with you guys than do it by myself. So let me know what you think of Quinacridone Burnt Orange. Beautiful color, or could you do without it? So let me know. I think it's a good color. Talk to you later. And let me know what kind of content you like. Do you like this content, or do you want other content as well? Also, give me a thumbs up, a subscribe, and I hear hypes are good for your channel. So if you could hype my channel, I would appreciate it. So I just really want to get out there. So I will see you next time, and we'll go over a different color in this palette. Talk to you later. Bye.